The Arconia, the building at the center of Hulu's hit show Only Murders in the Building, where every season's murder takes place, is never going to be the same without doorman Lester Kaluga, who was found dead in the courtyard fountain in the Season 4 finale. At this rate, Charles, Oliver, and Mabel's podcast will never end. But that's what stars Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez and fans around the world hope for. Season 5 starts with new characters and a new murder, but how exactly does the show manage to keep all its secrets hidden and spoiler-free? The producers of the show do an excellent job at keeping secrets, not just from the public, but from their own cast and crew. Take Season 2, for example. The big reveal of who the killer was revealed to the crew when they were filming Episode 4. The actress playing the killer came down from filming the sequence where the killer sneezes and then sees Lucy, played by Zoe Colletti, wearing the suit and holding the killer's ski mask. Several crew members realized that the actress's character was the killer, and they had to keep it a secret from the crew. Selena and Martin didn't know until they got the script for Episode 10. The producers and the writers give out need-to-know scripts to the actors and the crew, and when filming scenes where the killer is needed, only the crew and cast needed for those specific scenes are on set. Everyone else who is not on the call sheet is asked not to come. With some of the seasons, and if the episode calls for the killer to appear masked or hidden in some way, then there are body doubles hired to take the place. In the Season 2 episode, the actress playing the killer never filmed their scenes with the main trio. That scene was filmed separately. Nobody was on set that day except for me and Lucy, but I don't think that she quite put the pieces together, says the actor, who we will keep anonymous for spoiler-free reasons. After this scene was filmed, production realized that they couldn't have the actor do all the mask sequences because they had some trouble camouflaging their body. They ended up putting me in these big pants underneath the suit so that you couldn't see my legs when the lights shone through the suit, and then they were having me hunch so that you couldn't see, says the actor. After that, the team realized they needed to cast many body doubles for every scene, especially when they were filming on location and not on a set, since paparazzi or fans on the streets could see or take pictures.
Yo, bloody Mabel sighting number 2. She just stabbed some dude.
And now in Season 5, our murder victim is none other than Lester, played by Teddy Kaluga, with Emery Cohen appearing as a younger version in flashbacks. Before the entire cast gets their scripts for the finale of each season, executive producer John Hoffman takes aside whoever is the next murder victim to tell them in advance. But this tradition never happened for Kaluga. We've all become family, and Teddy Kaluga is top of that list. He's been the heart and soul of the show in many ways, says Hoffman. And while he intended to tell Kaluga before the scripts went out, Hoffman missed the memo that the scripts had gone out. While they were filming for a scene, Kaluga came in from the crafty station, telling Hoffman he had read the script. Of course, Hoffman was shocked, and Kaluga burst into tears. But Kaluga was just happy to return for another season. In the season opener, it is revealed that the police have ruled his death an accident. At Lester's funeral, the trio discovers a severed finger, casting doubt on the police's claim that his death was accidental. After confirming Lester's body is intact, Charles and Oliver uncover a link to mobster Nicky Cacciamilio through old wedding photos. They visit Nicky's family on Staten Island, where his wife, Sophia, who once tried to hire them to find her missing husband, reveals he had a gambling problem and owned the Arconia's dry cleaner. She hands over his favorite deck of cards, which hides a magnetic card containing a secret map. Charles and Mabel follow it to a hidden casino beneath the Arconia, while Oliver discovers Nicky's body at the family's dry cleaning shop. And thus begins the mystery of the season.
Is that a finger?
Season 5, Episode 2 finds the series going back in time to give us Lester's backstory. Hoffman directed that episode, which proved to be one of the more challenging ones to execute. His vision was to authentically convey the experience of a doorman, a role that, over the years, can feel somewhat disorienting. Familiar faces appear and disappear, often just passing through, and he wanted that sense of fleeting connection to come through in the storytelling. At the same time, he aimed to anchor the narrative in Lester's emotional journey, shedding light on what he endured during those years, while also subtly pointing to the layered history of the building itself, suggesting that the past might still linger just beneath the surface.
Hello.
What the hell?
Spoiler alert, but Paul Rudd is back for Season 5. That's right, the actor who played Ben Glenroy in Seasons 2 and 3, and later portrayed Glenn Stubbins, an Irish stunt actor in Ben's body double, returns in a role no one expected, the voice of Lester, the new doorman robot. According to Hoffman, bringing in Rudd was not the original plan. The series used a completely different voice, several versions actually, before deciding to bring back Rudd for the bit towards the end of filming. When they were shooting Episode 9, Hoffman called Paul up and told him about the voice role, and Rudd signed back on immediately. The creators of Only Murders in the Building hired Elastic, the titans of title cards, who are the filmmaking team behind the Game of Thrones intro sequence. The team had one simple request for Elastic: to include an exciting new Easter egg in the opening credits each week, adding to the show's mystery. The briefing they got from the producers was the idea of a love letter to New York in a way, and true crime podcasts, to capture the romantic, illustrative approach to New York, building on the magic of Hirschfeld and the New Yorker. Some of the Easter eggs are misdirects for the audience, but others are also teasers for what happens in the episode. Let's look at some examples from Season 4 of the show. The first Easter egg is a shadow of an airplane, which signifies the trio's journey across the country to Hollywood in the premiere episode titled Once Upon a Time in the West. Speaking of their journey to the film business, we see two sets of chairs set out on the top of the Arconia. One set for Charles, one set for Oliver, and the last for Mabel, as well as the three actors who portray them in the movie based on their podcast in the episode titled Two for the Road. A straightforward Easter egg for the penultimate episode, Escape from Planet Klongo, shows a green screen that represents the big-budget science fiction movie that Charles and Oliver go undercover as background actors for. And in the Season 4 finale, titled My Best Friend's Wedding, we see the front of the building decked out for Oliver and Loretta's wedding. Why not go back and watch the opening credits for Season 5 and figure out each episode's Easter egg? Let us know what you find. In scoring Only Murders in the Building, composer Siddhartha Khosla uses music to manipulate and misdirect the audience's suspicions by leaning into the character's dramatic and emotional subtext, rather than underscoring the show's comedic elements. His approach combines classic orchestral elements with modern, unsettling sounds to create a distinct musical identity that both points to potential suspects and plays with viewer expectations. Khosla builds the entire score from variations of the main title theme, which was heavily influenced by the podcast Serial by Nick Thorburn. This recognizable plinky-plonky piano motif is deconstructed and rearranged with different instrumentation to reflect the mood of a scene. In a lighthearted scene, it can feel fun and inquisitive, but when rearranged with darker, swirling strings, it creates a feeling of unease and suspicion. Khosla creates individual musical themes for the characters to help viewers track their emotional states. This provides a sonic compass for the audience, but it is not always a reliable one. For instance, the theme for a character like Jan, the murderer in Season 1, can initially sound harmless or romantic before its more sinister, unsettling variations reveal her true nature. Thanks for joining us behind the scenes. We hope you enjoyed getting a closer look at how Only Murders in the Building manages to keep the show's plot twists and murder mystery top secret during production and while it airs. If you like this kind of content, let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next for Collider Behind the Scenes.